Alright, you're going to show us how to make one of the coolest drinks ever, and it's actually very economical for anybody on any budget to make a really, really healthful concoction. Yeah. Or you call them decoctions, correct?
Well, decoction's actually when you boil an herb. Okay. So there's different levels of working with herbs. There's the infusion, which is putting the herb in warm water, or like a sun tea infusion that you could do. Then there's the decoction, which is the boiling. What we're going to make here is just a simple nut milk, like an elixir. I'm using this one because, like you said, it's very economical for people. We're going to use coconut flake and sesame seed, which both range for usually less than $2 a pound organic. They're extremely nutritive. The coconut flake provides a lot of fats and oil, so it's coconut oil is one that can be a bit expensive for people, and you get the coconut oil out of the flake here. So this is great. A lot of calcium in the sesame seed. Sesame's been the a staple for the people of India for a really long time. So they're both really time-tested staple foods from around the world. And what we'll do is we'll make a real simple drink. And in the last video that we put up on the site was starting with a tea base as the liquid for the drink. Here we're going to use the spring water. And what we'll do is just real simple. We just put you could do this with any nut or any seed that you want. We're happen to do it with these two today.
So about 2 cups of coconut flakes?
Yeah, I put about 2 cups in there because they're loose. If we had taken that apart, if we had like really shredded it down and condensed it, it wouldn't be so much. But they're big and fluffy like popcorn, so it looks like more than it is. And then this is about 1/3 of a cup of sesame seed. This is not exact. If we put more, it'll be creamier. If we put less, it'll be less creamy. I'm going to throw in this tonka bean. Don't tell. And a few apricot kernels. And the reason is they both have a very cooling, kind of cold, icy taste on the back of the tongue. And so we're going to go for that, a real icy tasting drink today.
And could you eat that every day?
Yeah, you could.
Tonka bean and
yeah, you could. Well, you know what would happen is eventually if it was not appropriate for you anymore, you'd start to like lack a desire for it. And really, honestly, I think that's the best way. It's to get out of the mind around food. If you use your mind to navigate food, after a while you're going to get yourself into a situation. Best to really trust yourself. Eat the food a few times, and then and you'll know when you need it. That's my personal philosophy. Or after 12 years of brain experiments with food. So
that's it. You just put those.
That's it. So when I make a milk, my philosophy is anything I don't want to have the fibers of, I put in, I blend, and then I strain it, and that's what we're going to do. So, like for instance, we can throw some ginger in here right now. Ginger has a fiber to it that just doesn't blend up. Even if you blend it for 10 minutes, you're going to end up with little fibers. So we can just throw that right in there. Anything else that we wanted to put in? Okay, so this was that cold spring water. Still cold from when I got out of the ground yesterday. And fat is the fats in those nuts wants to stay solid because if this was like a warm tea, it would dissolve right into it. But you can see what we got here is this big foamy head of coconut fat floating on the top, and that can be like a really cool culinary experience. So we're going to actually go with that. Then I'm just going to pour it through a strainer.
Well, so use that bowl for a variety of different things.
Yeah. I only have a couple of bowls here in the house, and I use them for everything. You can online, you could buy yourself a nut milk bag. They're usually about $8 to $10. You can go to Home Depot and buy the same thing, 2 of them for $2 if you want. You go to the paint section, and they're called paint strainers. And that's what people sell as nut milk bags.
It's the same thing?
It's the exact same thing. It's a nylon mesh bag.
I just bought a nut bag for $10 actually.
Yeah, so that's an option that you can do, and they usually come in 2 packs. So those work well too, but I've kind of gotten the habit of straining because it's easier to clean up and a little faster. So I just keep pushing it through the screen.
Do you do anything with that excess meat?
You can. I usually just compost it. But certain nuts, like if you were going to do this, say with a nut that you'd really want to eat. I don't really like to eat the shells of sesame seed. It's kind of bitter. But if this was a cashew or an almond, you could use that meat and definitely turn it into another recipe. You could take that and put it in a dehydrator, and it would turn into like a flour. basically, which you could then use to make like rock cakes and pies and things like that. So a lot of options. So there we got all the liquid pressed right through. I like this bowl. It's got corners, makes it easy to pour. I was doing this for a long time with a round bowl and spilling half of it down my sink. So I've learned. I just need to give this a rinse.
Sure.